All right. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Derek Freund. Thank you to my sound engineer for play that funky music, white boy. You're here for harness the power of mobile advantages of live. Sound engineer, thank you, Joe, for play that funky music, white boy. Actually, sounds pretty good, doesn't it? You're here for a workshop. Quickly learned that workshop with me is not the usual business of the day. So we are starting right now. I'm Derek Freund, your host. Rogue Marketing System is my business. I am a constant contact ALE, or what is it? Authorized local expert doing presentation. This is a company approved PowerPoint, but we've got some secret sauce in here that we're going to throw in. Let me shut this down so it's not distracted. I'm an outsourced chief marketing officer, work with Constant Contact. I'm an author, speaker. This is my contact information. And we've got an exciting program today on mobile marketing. A few case in points here. Surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. We do a whole training program here. If you're interested in owning the complete series, there's over 20 webinars, everything from the power of the inbox to content marketing to subject lines, getting started, events, webinar. We have a whole series that's available that can be, if you want to do a binge watching. So ask about that. Also at Rogue Marketing System, there's another webinar called The Reckoning that will be starting in a few days. Now, this is not about Constant Contact, guys. This is the 5 irrefutable pillars of marketing, 10 biggest breakthroughs in business life, and 7 questions you want to answer. So that's a long program, a longer program, but it will really open your mind. Check that out. Today, you will have the opportunity to forever change the way you think about marketing. And while we're specifically going to be talking about mobile marketing, I want you to think about it in a bigger, broader perspective. You'll see about receiving one of my books. I see funny, there's the new modem used to be called Toolkit with Constant Contact, and we actually printed the book back in 2014, but the update changes and the samples just became too hard to keep up with, so we just do it all digitally online. It was exciting printing a book. I come from an athletic background. It's about teamwork. This is me in a CrossFit competition here. This is where the guys picked up the ladies and ran. Of course, I had an advantage because I'm about twice the age of these people here, so I've had more experience because I've been doing that type of physical activity since I was about 12 years old. Sometimes people will ask, why should I listen to you, Derek, about new and different strategies? I had an old guy ask me one time, what makes you qualified to do this? Well, that's a good question because in addition to the regular credentials I have, I do own my own business. And whether I work with big groups or small groups, I love training, but I have to do this every day. I own a business just like most of you. We've got a broad range of people attending, but I'm responsible for not only my business and my family, but the clients that I represent and work for. And in the real world, theory that doesn't work would only last for about 5 minutes. I would get chewed up and spit out real quick, and you don't want to make a mob angry. This system has been proven in over 156. I think the total right now is closer to 170. But whether you're a profit business, a solopreneur, you run a large organization, nonprofit, you market business to business, business to consumer, these principles will work for you. It will drive me insane and you'll look very foolish or silly or stupid if you say, yeah, that's a good idea, but that wouldn't work for me. Yeah, chances are it will work for you. So this is a no BS zone here. What me and my business do is we train others to be self-sufficient do-it-yourself marketers. That's what we're covering today. We also provide low-cost, customized, done-for-you campaigns that you can just plug and play and use. And then at the highest level, I operate as an outsourced chief marketing officer, working either with the CEO or sales vice president, coordinate lead flow generation, etc. It's been proven. We've been written up in Fortune magazine, Success, Business Week, Cranes, even the Harvard Business Review has talked about the principles we do. So fully documented. Want to suggest here that, oh, we got to turn off timer, I'm sorry, that before I learned a better way, I was often broke. And there's very few things in marketing that are intuitive that you go, oh, those things are things in movies where, build it and they'll come. We have to learn, and through trial and error. This is on the left here when I first got started out. There was full color pictures there. I graduated high school in 1985. There's that was just a black and white newsletter that they came. And then this is me about 20 years ago right here with my now, oh gosh, they're in their early 20s now when I first started consulting my business. So I've been at this game for a long time. Constant Contact and email marketer, I was a late starter, 2010. So that now kind of makes me a dinosaur, but it was later in my career because I am inherently a technophobe. I've had mentors and motivators. There's a school of thought, and for me, it's direct response marketing. It's about selling in print, selling through media here. So I learned this standing on the shoulders of giants. Ron Cates, the one of the godfathers of email marketing and social media, recruited me into the business. He heard me speak. We shared the stage. He said, Derek, you can do this. And he was right. So he wrote me a nice testimonial saying, Derek is a badass, and whatever, you can read it there. By the way, we're going to go through all of this information very quickly here today, but you will get the download here. So I know I've attended events. There's a few times you will want to take notes, but anything here you'll see. This is some of the clients that we've worked with here. Hopefully someday you'll see your name up there and your business. Today there will be a guarantee. During my presentation, you will have the opportunity. Now this is time limited. You need to respond in the next day or two. But over the period of the next 30 days here, you will get over $300 in applied, not just information, but applied, where we will actually walk you through the process of implementing these. And there's no risk, there's no contract, it's a no-brainer. We want to stop the insanity and demystify the facts. There's so often, with social media, with email, there's just all these things. You do not have to be good at all of them. Be good at a few things and do them very well. And let's meet your market where they are at. Occasionally people will say, well, email marketing is dead or gone. When I got into this business in 2010, the statistics, not according to Constant Contact or Ron Cates or Derek Freund, but the Direct Marketing Association, it's been published in Fortune magazine, the average return on investment for every $1 properly invested, I talk with my hands, so if you see that, I'm not even Italian. $1 for every $1 properly invested back in 2010 was a 42 to $1 return. That's now up to $44.25. There was a time it backed down to about $38. It's now trending up. Even if it was only $10 or $20, this still makes perfect sense, but it is the hottest ticket going now and for the foreseeable future. We have the links there. Alex Bard, CEO from Campaign Monitor, said this is a great way to go. So you're in the right place. There's plenty of metrics to back that up. Now, you want to be a marketer. Let's put on our marketing tank. Some of you are full-time marketers. Some of you have other responsibilities in your business. But for right now, you are going to be your own chief marketing officer. And I hope to help just as if we were here one-on-one just working on your business. Excuse me. So where are we today? 51% of emails are opened on mobile devices. This is outstanding, and I've seen the numbers as low as 20%. I've seen them as high as 80%. You can look inside your own analytics and see, again, even if it was 20%, it couldn't be ignored, but the number just keeps going up and up, so we cannot ignore this. Check your stats in your this is a sample of your toolkit edition here. This is a sample here where it shows 44% are opening on desktop, and in this case about 55%. So your module may look a little bit different, but you can actually see that. So this is empirical evidence. This isn't conjecture. That happens sometimes with TV or cable or newspaper advertising where they have to use conjecture or we have to test response rates. But here we can see very, very close to absolute facts what the numbers are. This is another case here where it's here again, we see the 53 to 47. I'm not showing the extremes. You can check your numbers here. But it's an interesting way to look at it. It's growing fast. 64% of American adults own a mobile phone, and I think that number is low. There's certainly a number of families. Mine anymore, we cut the cable. We do not have a home landline number anymore. Everybody, 3 kids, my wife and I, we all have cell phones. The average person looks at their phone 150 times a day. Now that seems just spasmodic, and perhaps that should be less. For a lot of people, this becomes, my son doesn't often wear a watch. I still have the old school standard watch, but that's where people are checking and watch. People will do that sometimes as a nervous reaction where they'll check their phones multiple times in just a conversation. It's kind of rude, but this is the place where we can meet them. Why mobile is so important? It can help you work more effectively. That's where the consumers are, and do your business smarter, faster, and directed at your clientele. Mobile drives business. This is where people find purchase decision. If you're in a direct consumer market, the response can almost be instantaneous, and you'll see it in business too, even at trade shows where there's apps and there's events to be able to use this. So it's applied. Even in highly rocket scientists are using this. So today we're going to talk about mobile and local listings, driving action with your mobile device, creating content for mobile, and your next steps. The listings here. This is a neat case study here. I was brought in here. This is BOSU. This is an exercise. You can see where it's like a half yoga ball that people exercise on, and where you want to be able to use your template. Always pick your templates when you be able to use this. There's some right or wrong things. We have a way of checking those for you. And this is an interesting example. Before they were mobile optimized, they had an open rate of just over 21%, which, by the way, is about 3 or 4% higher than industry statistics. So they were doing very, very well by a traditional model. Now look what happened when we changed. This wasn't ad copy. This was just me going in, and it's interesting because usually I don't operate as just a technical person, but that's all I did on this job. And we went in and we increased that to 34.5% open rate. Now some people can go, well, 21 to about 35, that's 14 or 15% open rate. That's actually about a 50% increase in open rate. Now what business wouldn't want to have 50% more traffic? But what's more interesting is the clicks went from 10% to 34%. So the click rate actually went up over 300%. That's just something that cannot be ignored. Not only was there more opens, but there was more actions to purchase to take action on the final events. Now, the total sales, I never got those numbers, but whether it could have been 300% the one time, and that would have been important, and I believe it was. But more importantly, what's the impact over time? And had they not done that, the cost would have just been ridiculous. So driving action with mobile put you there. What is mobile marketing and how is that determined, and how do different people look at that? What helps us move faster and smarter? Oh, this is cool. When you can take action, there's coupons, there's mobile apps, we'll show you there. But this is something we discovered almost by accident. This is a client of mine, an organic farmer here. When you put your phone number in your email, it becomes like a hot link. So you put that in there. Now, some businesses, you don't want to specifically drive phone calls, but a lot of businesses do. If you have a retail, you have a storefront, you have a law office that does, property or injury cases, and you want people to have immediate access. On their smartphone device, they can get your email. They can click on the phone number, which is in blue. It's highlighted. People intuitively know that that's a link. And they press on that. Your number will start dialing. And that is just so cool. I wouldn't have thought that cross-platform, even though they're in the same box, that you could go from an email to dialing somebody right up. You can't do that on a desktop or a laptop where you do that, but with a cellular device you can. So it drives action. Offers and promotion, considering an offer or a local deal. It's expected. Growth in digital coupons is expected to go from 47 to 83%. Not surprising. Oftentimes at the airport, we don't even print out our boarding passes, our tickets anymore. It's done on our mobile devices. So people are doing that actively at restaurants, airlines, etc. So that's a conservative number, but it's growing. You can track the coupon open. So obviously when people come into your store or your place in business, you can track that. But even before they come in, you can track to see who, before they redeem that, you can track to see who downloads those coupons. So let's say you have 50 people download the coupon, but there's only 25, fair approximation. Not everybody's going to redeem those who downloads those. But now you can go back and do a special promotion, or you miss because you know those people were interested. So you can work the numbers, and it's a fascinating way to do that. Offers and promotions, Facebook promotion. There's a lot of people who are constantly all day looking at Facebook. They're looking at the business feed. You're going to see in a few moments here how your recipients, even if you do not actively participate in social media, which I understand I don't do a lot of it myself, but I still profit from it. My clients profit from it tremendously because of the share and the additional impact that it can have, both on sharing, also what you do on your Facebook page in terms of promotions, discounts, etc. The share button is something that we always build in, and in the old days we called this referral marketing. So this is a little module here that we always place on the top of emails. Now this works for both obviously desktop, laptop, and the mobile devices. But if somebody sees that your local community is having a jazz festival, or you're having a special promotion, or a members only, or at a convention, even the rocket scientists and the medical and the orthopedic people, and they have something going and they want to share it on their page, be it LinkedIn, be it Facebook, etc., or a private group message, they can share your message on there so your content gets distributed. So it's a great word of mouth. Can you imagine if you had to distribute flyers or make an announcement or an intranet system or something? This takes care of it. It's kind of a joke. Occasionally we're talking in a workshop and somebody will say, but Derek, how much extra does it cost to do this? I said, well, it's only an extra $200, and you see this, but the punchline for those who know, it's not an extra $200. All you need to do is know how to do it. By the way, I see there's some questions here. We don't have time for me to answer the questions live. If you don't already have my email, I welcome the email here for the questions. You'll have a chance to talk to me live on the phone, but I get concerned, I get excited about what we're doing, but there's general questions and there's specific questions, and sometimes I've gotten in trouble where somebody will ask me a question and I know their business, they're a client, and I give them a specific answer, but it's not the right answer for everybody else. So what you're seeing here are the best practices and how this works. Events are another great program in mobile. If you're having an event registration and you want people to be able to sign up, we're doing one right now for a Children's Glories Hospital in Chicago, and they're expecting 700 people to arrive at this event. Right now, there's a system of they can RSVP. Yes, they're attending. No, they're not. By the way, this is different than a Facebook event. Facebook events, they have their time and place, but this is where people can actually print tickets. They can have tickets on their mobile device. They can be confirmed. This isn't just a social hangout, but this is when you actually have this. You can set this up, by the way, if you sell tickets, you can hook this up with your PayPal or merchant services. If it's a free event, they're confirmed, there's follow-up. It's a much better program. We talked about the chair. I backed up there. A share. Social media, they can opt in, they can check in, and there's customer content creation. This is fun too, where you can email blast out to your best clients, and you can ask them to record video testimonials. You can ask them to record what they're doing. I have a very good business colleague that they sell a leather repair kit. Now, this is why I like otherwise boring businesses. They sell on eBay a $20 leather repair kit. Actually, let me show you. No, I'll show that to you later. The a leather repair doctor, and it's called, and you mix 7 of the colors and you match and you do the leather repair and you patch it up, and they can demonstrate it, but it's more effective if they take an amateur at doing this, and people will actually take their video cameras, they have a friend hold it, and they're fixing like designer purses, and they're doing real things, and they're having a contest, and they're making a neat event of it. So your clients, your best prospects can do it. Will everybody participate? No, but you only need 1 or 2 and it becomes phenomenal success. Text messaging is awesome. Text to join. You'll see any number of politicians doing this. I'm going to do a demonstration right now. I get into more detail on this in growing your list and content creation. But remember a while back, I promised you a copy of one of my books. This is, I don't have the hard copy. Yeah, I do here. This is the hard copy of, I won't get into all of it, but it's the Book of Marketing. It's a complete glossary of definitions and terms. And if you want to get a copy of this, but again, the book copy is neat, but that's not the point. The point is how you can use this in your own system. So under join my mailing list or join my list in your constant contact account, what you do is you create a keyword for yourself. In my case, it's Rogue, R-O-G-U-E. Yours can be something that relates to your business. So if you text, do this now or do this afterwards, 22828, and you text Rogue to 2228, I'm sorry, anyway, you see it, it's right there on the screen. What will happen is, via the, it doesn't even have to be a smartphone, it can actually be an old dumb phone or whatever they're called. You can text, you'll get the message, a person will then enter in their email address, it will get reminded. In my case, email will go out with the download link. In your case, this can be a ticket, this can be a coupon, this can be a receipt, it can be anything else, but the text to join is great. And it's only $200. No, it's free. It's part of your program. So use it. It's fantastic. That was worth the price of admission right there, wasn't it, guys? The text to join. Do that. Quick story. I have a client who sells Disney travel vacations, and we were writing the text, and it was like, what do we see? And mine's got kind of a boring, hello, welcome, and we want to send you the book, or whatever it says. But we said, hi, this is Mickey. We're really interested, and Minnie and I are really excited to help you start your dream vacation. They sell these to college graduates and people who are going on their honeymoon and their 25th and 50th wedding anniversary. So, Minnie and I are so excited. So the text makes it interesting and exciting for people to do that. And they see that on their cell phones, and then they buy stuff. QR codes. QR codes are the web address. You can use these. These never got as big as I thought they would, but this is like a barcode. There's an app. People can zap that with their phone, and they can go directly to your website. They can go directly to the link. It's a free service on there. Now, there's some do's and don'ts here of what you're doing here. Don't make it difficult to scan. Make these clear. Make them accessible and easy to scan. Don't use these on your website. Every once in a while you see some genius where they put these on the website. If it's on a website, you're already there. Give these, you can print these on a business card, your collateral material, tent cards like you would use for the text to join, coupon or event. You want to give people a reason to do that. And where they go to your webpage, typically you don't want them to go just to your homepage. Provide a clear call to action. So if it's join our VIP club, get our information. So do's and don'ts for QR codes. Drive to action. This is what this is all about, direct response marketing. Send a mobile-friendly offer or promotion to your customers. Make it easy for them to learn to register and check events. Stick with us. We're going to show you some best case examples on how to do that. Encourage social media check-ins. Create QR codes. It doesn't say it here. Again, this is a lot of the corporate stuff here. I'm trying to throw in some of the extra. The text to join is really cool. I have a chiropractor client that did a speaking gig, and there was, I don't know, I think 900 people there. And he was speaking for free. He should have been paid, and he should have gotten a copy of the list of the people who attended, but the promoter didn't have it. And rightfully, there was maybe some ethical reasons that the people hadn't opted in. Well, what he did is he offered a free journal And from the stage, he said, if you'd like a free copy of my journal, my digital journal here, it was a health promotion, enter in this. He collected 288 names. Now, any business can make a fortune with 288 hot, very, very good prospects. So use these tools. Creating content. Boy, this is exciting. Use your mobile devices. We have high-grade cameras here. We have recording devices. We have video devices. Look to be able to create images here. I showed you earlier the organic farmers. They will take pictures and see my presentation on content marketing, but they will show pictures and images of sprouts of little plants growing, the eggs. These organic eggs are phenomenal. I mean, they get like $9 a dozen, but they're all these different color eggs. I mean, it looks like an Easter egg combination, but these are natural colors in them, and they're super healthy. And they show images of those. They show their staff. It makes the content, and our mind absorbs things. This is busy on the screen here through our eyes. This is now a great way to do that. Whether you have your best clients and prospects participate in this, your employees, you do this yourself, you now have this great media device at hand. Use pictures and videos. There's a demonstration with the Bosu exercise, rock climbing gym. Again, even the boring businesses, the leather repair, if it's demonstrable, I just noticed my blue shirt there, like the Billy Mays, God rest his soul, the demonstration of the OxyClean or the demonstration. Use the apps. You can, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, these are all, I think all without exception, visual tools. So your mobile device is handy to use those. Use events to create content. If you have your best donors, if you have an award ceremony, if you have a process, have pictures in there. In the webinar standout subject lines, one of my clients doubled his open rate, and he's doubling his process. He's got a senior singles dance program, and the subject line was, "Are you in this picture?" Well, he only had one picture. Now, it didn't cost more for him to do, but he was just learning how to do that. He had one picture, and we asked, "Are you in this picture?" Well, people, it's social. They wanted to see if they were engaged. They opened the picture here, and there was, I don't know, maybe 24 people in the picture, and they looked around. Now he's including a lot more, and he's got participation. It's exploding on social media. But the base all started with the mobile device, the mobile opt-in, and how you get the information. Mobile apps are the era. People have asked, is email over because people text? That's not true. 91% of marketers view email as the most effective channel for driving revenue, and it is the #1 app on cell phones. When email doesn't look good, this is what this is all about here, is if you are sending emails to people, and by the way, they don't know, you may not know that they're not mobile optimized, but 75% of the people will delete the email. Why will they delete it? They just look at it and they go, I can't read this. And technically, you can. I've heard people say, oh yeah, you can read my emails, but you take out the phone and you stretch and you drag. Who's got time for that? I mean, the most ardent person will, yeah, go through that, but why work that hard? And then they'll unsubscribe because they don't want to see something they can't see or understand. It becomes a foreign language. So always pick the mobile-friendly templates and avoid these mistakes. Too much text. This is in the content workshop. We talk about one picture, 20 lines of text. Those are some simple rules. You go rogue, there's ways of breaking those. But if you're having 51%, you want them to be able to, there's an old expression, kids, if you remember, let your fingers do the walking. Let them be able to click on the images and do that. So don't have too much text. Multiple columns in the old days with a screen, that worked. I assume most of you are watching this on your desktop or your computers, but some of you are probably watching these on a smartphone. Thank you. The two columns are very, very challenging to read, and tiny fonts. Word of thumb, use 11-point fonts for your text, 22 points for your headlines, and justify things to the left if you're concerned. Justifying things to the right or at center can often get botched off. Less text is more. Keep it simple in a single column and use large fonts that are legible. Avoid these mistakes. Larger off-screen image sizes. This isn't a real bad example here, but if the images are too large, they get squished to the side. If your call to actions are hard to find or read, how are they calling to act on what they're doing? There's an expression from newspapers where, picture this is a newspaper here, and this is the headline, and above the fold, below here. So in the computer, there's the scroll, there's above the scroll, and there's below the scroll. Ideally, you have your call to action, your phone number, your website above the scroll line. That's tough to do sometime, and it's not a kiss of death if it's not there, but you don't want to have that 2 feet below where people are waiting to, before they can actually take action or having to scroll down. Size the image to fit, use clear, easy call to action. So you have the brief explanation of what you're doing, there's the registration. Now, if below the scroll you want to have more information, more content, testimonials, images, other links, that can be fine, but understand the call to action for the people who are already pre-sold, have that available above the scroll. Key point here. This drives me nuts. We teach people, especially in the content workshop, to repurpose content and images. And that's good advice. But this image here, this is otherwise a pretty good design. They've got some sophisticated stuff going. They're doing, yeah, it looks good. But here, and this is real size, guys. This is exactly the size here, what you see. This is an image of the classes here. Now, in God's green earth, I don't know that any of us can read this, but that person had their handout in front of them. They scanned it in and they placed it there. And in their mind, an otherwise intelligent person, I assume, said, this looks good. Or they'll put a business card. And this is where graphic artists, who sometimes are assigned to do marketing, will fall into. I love graphic artists. I understand. Hired a lot of them over the years. But if you take this image here and place it there, it is impossible to read. So they put this here and they go, oh, well, there's a list of our schedule. We emailed it out to everybody. You can't see that there. They did a good job here where they said reserve now. Personally, I would have underlined that and maybe put an arrow at that. But otherwise, they're doing a good job. Oh, here's another example here where they have this sign up, they have this event. This was a full 8.5 by 11 handout. They converted the PDF file to a JPEG and they printed it because somebody literally said, well, put our sign up on the email. Well, again, guys, it becomes impossible to read. Can anybody fill that out? In this case, what they can do is they can put a link to the PDF in their documents and then somebody could print that out. Better yet, if they had an online registration using events or going to surveys, including a phone number can be a good way to do that. But you have all these other formulas where there's a call to action, but then somebody really hits a dead end when they actually try to register. So get some help. We've got a special that's next, and we'll talk you through it for nothing. I personally will, again, on a limited basis, and for a small amount of money, you can get your template done, and it will 99% of the time work perfectly. Oh, here's the open rates. This is an older module here, but the statistics are absolutely stellar. A while back, for a chamber of commerce, they were having open rates 24, 20%. They went down to 16, 18%. Boom. We did a mobile optimize. It went up to 45, 45, and 37%. Rockstar status. Rockstar totally changes the name of the game. Okay. Anybody who participates here, this is a game changer. When you talk about an opportunity that meets the timing here, again, who can deal with only one third the opportunity? If they're surviving at one third, or even if they're thriving, to change that to double or 250%, it will change your world. And how often can you get excited about little technical, I call these plumbing issues, but you make those changes, it will happen. This is actually probably my largest account by number of subscribers, over 100,000 or approximately 100,000, the New York State Snowmobile Association. And here's an example. Now, above this here, there's the social media share, which is very, very important because, again, this is a club. This is an association. Not a small one, but it's part of a national organization. But just within the state of New York, there's 100,000 people participating. And you can bet 10 or 20% of them are really fanatical, just like you might be about your hobby or passion or charity or whatever. So they have their logo here, the active mobile template here. There's, again, other webinars we get into this, but there's to their homepage, there's join a club, member discounts, contact us. Here's their magazine. Now, that would be tough to read by itself, but they do recognize that's a magazine. But you can click there and you can read the whole, and it's like 60 or 80 pages of the magazine PDF. This also, because they're able to sell media advertising, Allstate, nationwide, and Climb and Actives, these where they sell, I don't know, $150, $200 helmets and $400 Kevlar jackets for snowmobiling in. There's a great media buy that they're able to offer to their supporters. So they see the full issue. Here they have like us on Facebook, forward to a friend, click here to register. So we often don't like to have multiple calls to action, but on these monthly communications that they're doing, this is a great opportunity, and it increases their membership and their participation. Create your email right from your phone. Now, I haven't used this a lot, but you can actually, if you're in a pinch, if you're on a vacation, if you're at a trade show, you can actually use the Constant Contact app, and you can go in and get into your email account, go in, open the information, place images in there, just like you would at a discount. I don't like to do it because it's just a small environment. The proportions are accurate in the small environment, but I'm not as familiar with it. But it's great if you're in a pinch, and that can happen. You can also seize opportunities. What if you're at a trade show or convention and you go, I should be using that text-to-join thing that Derek told me about? Well, you can go into your system and create one right there. It takes a few seconds. Mobile content creation checklist. Design your emails with mobile in mind. Create, share multimedia. That's what this is about. Download the social media apps so that you use them. By the way, when you have your template set up, you set it once and it just stays there. You will duplicate your let me get this right here. You have your template, you make a copy of it, you create your email. So you have everything right in your template, you send that email. Then you come back and you make a copy of the original. Sometimes we get a little lazy, we make a copy of a copy of a copy, and theoretically, just like in digital world, it shouldn't be like an old copy where the images degrade. It still happens in a mobile environment where some of your links will get broken. So it's a better practice to copy from your original template. But if your social media is in there, your join, your share, your logo, your color, your branding, that all stays the same. So that usually can be anywhere from 50 to 80% of the work. And you also, again, get the mechanics right of sending that out. Okay, man, we're pushing up against the clock here. Next steps. Embrace mobile. It's not going away, kids. You can like it or not, but it is not going away. Remember, it's not about the device. It's about your audience, and that's a bigger, broader picture. Where are your people? I go over that with clients regarding social media. There's some people are spending way too much time and effort on social media, not because it's a bad media, but it's a social environment, not typically a business environment. And some businesses, that's not where their people are. If you're selling orthopedic equipment to doctors, are they on social media? Absolutely, but they're on LinkedIn and they may be on Facebook, but when they're on Facebook, the percentage is lower there and they're not doing this. I've got a client who sells to brides. They sell engraving, they sell um, anyway, DJ services, all sorts of service. The average bride in the United States is 28 years old. She's actively involved, and the purchases are going. So go to where they are. There's the old expression, Bruce Lee. You'll see a picture of him, movie star, martial artist, and he said, if we're pointing to the stars, don't focus on the hand. Look at the stars. Don't look at this. That's the way I like to look at something here. It's just a way of working smarter and faster and meeting people where they are. And it's not about the device, it's about the audience. And if you love your audience, you'll want to communicate with them. Another question I'll get that people will say, oh, well, mobile devices is more of a younger person's crowd. No, 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 no. That may have been true when smartphones and podcast and iTunes first came out, but anymore, that's not the case. My parents live in Florida. They're 83, 84 years old. And anymore, they're not going to their laptops to check their email. They've got their smartphone. It's just easier for my mom. She's 115 pounds or something to hold that device. Vanguard Motorsports sells muscle cars to guys that are about like actually 10 years older than me. Guys that grew up in the 60s and the early 70s. We're seeing 65, 75% open rate to on mobile devices. So when people will blithely say, "Oh, let's test the assumptions." Again, even if it was 30%, you wouldn't want to ignore it. So use these as active tools to create your content, promote with mobile in mind, and drive customers to your front door, your place of business. If you have questions, I hope you've already emailed. I see that we have some accumulating here. But we've got a lot of information here. I look forward, if you're interested in learning more. This is a great quote. I mentioned Bruce Lee. He says, knowing is not enough. There's a lot of people who are knowledgeable. We must be willing to apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Can you make a mistake? Sure, we all do, but we learn from our mistakes, and you'll actively fall forward. You'll make progress. This shouldn't be much. We have a special offer here. There's a 30-day kickstart. In a minute, you'll see a link to my personal telephone appointment schedule here. This is not a big push to sell. Some of you are already Constant Contact subscribers. Some of you are not. We have a whole bundle of services. We're going to email you a copy of this, but you can take action today. If you want a mobile template, we used to have a promotion for new subscribers, but then we had current customers get pissed off. They go, wait a minute, we're a customer here and we don't get the special promotion. And I thought, that makes sense. Let's offer the same cool deal whether you're a subscriber or not. So if you want a mobile optimized template professionally done for you, that's usually $197. Call home office. Again, this is done by my company. So sometimes they do it for 97 bucks, but we do it only for $47. So I think it's actually better because we're actively out in the field, but that's just an opinion. Not everybody will agree with that. Get both if you want. 47 bucks will do the mobilized template. You can do this either with newsletter, sales promotion, feedbacks and surveys, etc. here. I'll also give you my presentation download slides, 60 ways to grow your list. Whether you buy or not, you have the option the next day or two to schedule a 30-minute one-on-one call with me. This is not a sales promotion. I actively, and I do this on a limited basis, want to hear what our clients are doing. We have 168, 170 of them. I know what's going on. I know what works in different industries and different fields. So take advantage of that if you like. You'll get an email. If you want to take some action right now, go to roguemarketingsystems.com/contact, or on the right hand of the web page, there's a contact us. Drop down. Don't go to initial consultation. Go to Constant Contact First Call. Click Start. Click on the book now. You'll immediately see my calendar. Pick a day and time that works. You put your name in there. You put your email, which like we already have, but pick a time that works for you, and it will schedule if you're in a different time zone. We're in Eastern Standard Time here, high atop my second floor mastermind hideout. Pick a time and date that works for you. You can write a little note in there if you want. If not, that's fine. But be prepared for the call. And I look forward to talking with you. Surround yourself with those on the same mission. I'll leave this up here, the special here. Derek Freund, Rogue Marketing System. We are right at about 45 minutes. I'm not sure if this started when I came on here, but we are right on schedule at 45 minutes. If you have a passion for working with your clients and helping others, we're kindred spirits. If you love your job, if you love your business, if you're self-employed, you're really going to understand what we do. I appreciate these. Hopefully this is the beginning. If you're a returning webinar watchee, attendee, fantastic. This is Derek Freund. Until next time, over and out.